Good morning, guys, and happy Friday. Today we're going to be looking at Lesson 21 problem set. This also has an exit ticket, so when you're on Seesaw, please make sure that you do both. Sometimes on Seesaw, I send an assignment back, and that's because I noticed that maybe you skipped a problem, you didn't answer all of a question. So when I do, I always leave a note on the assignment saying why. Please look at it and see what I've asked you to do, and then do that and send it back to me with the green check mark. So on this assignment today, I have again attached the grid paper because our directions say use centimeter grid paper to shade in as many rectangles as you can within the given perimeters. So this is going to be a little messy when we do this on the computer because on Seesaw we don't have tools that make rectangles for us. But we can still, shade. They're not going to be as nice as they, and there's the proof. They're not going to be as nice as they are in person, but we still want to go ahead and actually make our rectangles. So when we talk about shading, this can count as shaded, like right here. It does not have to be this beautiful, perfect, in my case, pink shape. It just needs to be, oh, okay, I can see that's the shape that you've done right there. So let's go ahead and let's look at the first question. I'm going to do part A. This one I'm going to leave for you. Part B is going to be yours. And then we're going to look at question 4. So I absolutely know that some people are going to say, Ms. Hickelberger, wait a minute, we're starting on question 3. Yes, you are, because the front part of this assignment is not possible to do virtually. It requires us to have a partner. But we can answer questions 3 and 4 on our own. So that's why it's not a mistake. You're not missing a page. It's going to start on question 3. So you've only got 3 questions to do today. This one has a couple of steps to it. So let's make sure that we do all of them. All right, I'm looking for a perimeter of 10. And I want to know how many rectangles I've made. I list the width, the length, and the area. So in our lesson yesterday, we found that when we were given a perimeter, we can divide it by 2, and it's going to tell us what the sides are. So let's test that. So 10, if we divide 10 by 2, we're going to end up with 5. So it's saying that all of our sides are going to be adding up to 5. So 1 and 4, yep, those 2 sides add up to 5. So the next thing that I can think of that adds up to 5 is going to be 2 and 3. So that is going to give me an area of, here's my width, here's my length, 6 square. Remember, we can always abbreviate square by SQ, centimeters. You might want to use the type function because it can be a little frustrating trying to write inside the tables, but when you zoom the screen in and you type, it's going to work a little bit better for you. I don't want to completely zoom my screen in because then it's going to cut off other problems. So here I've started. I have a width of 2 and a length of 3. And we have to ask ourselves, is there any other way to add 2 numbers together to make 5? We've done 1 and 4 and gotten 5. We've done 2 and 3, which adds up to 5. Unless I add 5 and 0, there is nothing else that I can do here. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I have made 2 rectangles. Let's look at our next table. So our perimeter is 20. I'm looking for the length of 2 sides. So I'm going to divide 20 by 2, which will of course get me 10. So let's check. 1 plus 9, that is most certainly 10. Let's see, another way to make 10, I'm going to keep going up. 2 and 8. Oh, I just saw I left off centimeters. Let me go in and put those back in. On the computer, it's not as big a deal if we leave off our units because we're having a hard time writing on here. I know that. It's okay. It's not quite like normal school. Okay, I need my area, so I'm going to multiply my width and my length, and that's going to get me 16 square. Wow, that does not look like a cube. Let me see if I can fix that. 16 square Q-ish centimeters. All right, I know to make 10, I've added 1 and 9. 2 and 8, I can do 3 and 7. 3 times 7 is, oops, I just made a line I didn't want to, is 21 square centimeters for the area. I'm going to keep going up, 1, 2, 3, so this side's going to be 4. We have a pattern. As this side increases, this side decreases. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 9, 8, 7, 6. Four times 6 is 24. Let's look at what's happening with our area. We went from an area of 9 to 16 to 21 to 24. Our area is increasing, but it's not by a specific amount. So it's gone up here by 7, here by 5, here by 3. Let's see what happens with our next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 5. 9, 8, 7, 6. Ooh, 5. I've just had two sides that are the same length, which means this shape is not a rectangle. It is a square, and that's a rectangle. Ugh. There we go. That one is a square, not a rectangle. So 5 times 5 is 25 square centimeters. So let's look at our area pattern. Here, from 9 to 16, that increased by 7. From 16 to 21, that increased by 5. From 21 to 24, it increased by 3. And from 24 to 25, it increased by 1. Think about something all those numbers it increased by have in common, and comment it on our class page under the video. Let's see who can find the number pattern. I'm going to look at number 4 now. It says Macy and Gavin both draw rectangles with perimeters of 16 centimeters. Use words and pictures to explain how it is possible for Macy and Gavin's rectangles to have the same perimeters but different areas. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to write my words, and I'm going to say Macy and Gavin have the same perimeter but different areas because, and I'm going to look for you guys to fill in the because. What is happening there? Look at our charts. Something is changing where the perimeter is always the same, but the area is what's increasing. Why is that happening? So they've done this. They've both got rectangles that have a perimeter of 16, and they've ended up with two different sides. So when it says use pictures, you can draw me two rectangles and you can label the sides to show me how they're different. So we're going to use our nice formula that we've been using. We're going to do 16 divided by 2. Maybe a nicer 2 than that. That was kind of more a Z. There we go. Which of course is going to be 8. So I'm looking for sides that equal 8. I'm going to go easy way and do 1 time by 7. So these two sides together equal 8. When I add up all the sides, 7 and 7, and then one more, that's 16. Now I'm going to make this one bigger and this one smaller. So I increase the width and I decrease the length. And I will also end up with a perimeter of 16 because 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 and 2 more is 14. 14 and 2 more is 16. So I gave you a sentence starter. Macy and Gavin have the same perimeter but different areas because you're going to fill in the because on your paper. I want to know why. I want to see what you think about this. I helped you out. I've given you what your measurements are. Now, if using the grid paper is really frustrating, I forgot it does that. So if using the grid paper, that's the second page, is really frustrating, you don't have to do that. But if you want to show all of your shapes, you may absolutely go ahead and do so.